Ron Howard is one of Hollywood's best directors. He's given us so many great films, from A Beautiful Mind to Frost Nixon to the Robert Langdon films to Hillbilly Elegy. But some remember him as Ronnie Howard, and before he was a filmmaker, he was Opie. He started his career playing Opie Taylor on the Andy Griffith Show. But as an adult, he's largely put acting aside to focus on directing. But there are rumors he might wish to start acting again. Join Facts First to learn how Ron Howard's daughter is the only reason he might act again. Ron Howard was born March 1st, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma. His mother was an actress who acted in both film and TV, probably best known for her role in popular TV shows such as Married with Children and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. His father was Rance Howard, an actor known for films like Cool Hand Luke, Chinatown, and Independence Day. Later, he acted in some of Ron's films. Needless to say, Ron was born to enter showbiz. His early credits included small roles in shows like The DuPont Show with June Allison, The Twilight Zone, Dennis the Menace, and The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. And of course, we remember Ron Howard most for his role as Opie on The Andy Griffith Show. Opie was the son of Sheriff Andy Taylor. He represented the all-American boy, and many older generations can still see themselves as Opie. As he grew older and The Andy Griffith Show ended, he continued pursuing an acting career. His most notable role after The Andy Griffith Show was playing Richie Cunningham on Happy Days. While this role became popular and garnered a new interest in Ron Howard's career, he didn't care for the role that much. The truth is, Ron never really had an interest in acting. He was just thrust into it because of his parents, and he was good at it. But his dreams were elsewhere. He wanted to focus on creating films and being behind the camera. He left the cast of Happy Days and made a few guest appearances afterward. In the 80s, he began his directing career, and he has since given us many great films. There are too many to mention, but some of the big hits include Splash, Cocoon, Willow, Parenthood, Apollo 13, The Da Vinci Code, and many more. In the meantime, he's also raised a family, and one of his daughters, Bryce Dallas Howard, has become a successful actress and director in her own right. As Ron continues to focus on his directing and producing career, fans have wondered if we'll ever see him acting again. Bryce Dallas Howard's life and career. Bryce Dallas Howard was born March 2, 1981 in L.A. The year of her birth is foretelling, as it was in the 1980s when her father wanted to move from acting to directing, with his first major hit being Night Shift, released in 1982. Bryce began to study acting at a summer camp for the performance arts. She actually took an interest in acting and went on to study at various prestigious institutions, including studying under the legendary Stella Adler. She was committed to becoming a successful actress and wanted to focus on film and TV. Her first role was as the red-headed audience girl in Parenthood. In 1995, she had an uncredited role in her father's film Apollo 13 as the girl in the yellow dress. Her first major role was in a 2004 film called Book of Love. That one was written and directed by Alan Brown. She had a major role as Heather in this film, and this was the start of a great acting career. This was followed up with the role of Ivy in the M. Night Shyamalan film The Village. She's acted consistently in films since then, with the occasional TV role. Her notable film work includes roles in films like Manderley, Lady in the Water, As You Like It, Spider-Man 3, 50-50, and Jurassic World Dominion. On TV, she's appeared on shows like Family Guy, where she voiced herself in a cameo, Tales of the Jedi, and Black Mirror. She also voiced the character Evelyn Pierce in the podcast series The Guilty. And like her father, Bryce has taken an interest in working behind the camera as a director. In 2006, she directed her first short film called Orchids. 5 years later, she made her next short film, When You Find Me. In 2013, she directed a segment from a TV movie called Call Me Crazy. She also directed an episode from the TV miniseries Vanity Fair Decades. In 2019, she directed her first feature film entitled Dads. It was a documentary in which she interviewed many celebrity dads, including her own. She's also directed TV episodes of shows such as The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett. Ron Howard's daughter is the only reason he might act again. Ron Howard has stated that while he has no interest in returning to acting, he might make an exception if his daughter Bryce Dallas Howard directs him in a film or TV show. Early in December 2022, Ron appeared on the Awards Circuit podcast hosted by Variety magazine. He was discussing his latest film, 13 Lives, when he was asked about his former acting career. He stated that Bryce could possibly convince him to return to acting if it was in a film or show directed by her. He also stated Bryce was astute and meticulous, and because of this, she wouldn't cast him unless he was absolutely right for the role. He also discussed his acting career at length and reflected upon how he transitioned to filmmaking after spending his life as an actor. He stated most people were skeptical and weren't sure if he would succeed at the new venture. He had directed short films since the 60s and in the 70s became known for directing a successful feature called Grand Theft Auto. But he was still seen as an actor until 1982, when he shifted fully towards directing. He stated that at the time, some major actors like Paul Newman or Jack Lemmon would direct a film, but they wouldn't fully make the switch to the new role. He said that while he understood others' skepticism, it upset him and perhaps he wanted to prove himself. But he also came at the right time, when many great actors from TV were transitioning to directing, including Alan Alda and Rob Reiner. Rod has directed comedy films, thrillers, dramas, and documentaries. He's directed and produced hit after hit, and just as audiences resonated with him as an actor, they've resonated with his films as a director. Clearly, he made a great decision to transition to directing and producing. Nevertheless, he was a talented actor, and many of us would love to see him in front of the camera again. He gave us great characters in Opie and Richie Cunningham, and perhaps there's another great character whom we need to see from him. Now it's time to hear from you. Are you a fan of Ron Howard? Do you think he should return to acting? Let us know in the comments section below.